Mr. Sumit Poddar of Tikonacapital, who's joining us on the show. Sumit, hi, good to be speaking with you. To begin with, I want to discuss some of those multi-decadal themes that you're watching out for in the markets. Because yes, there's a buffet there in the market right now. Everything is looking good. But how do you play it in terms of stock-specific strategies? Let's discuss that. And one of the big trends that have come out this year is consumerization and how urban consumption has actually picked up. Talk to me about how one should look at tapping into this opportunity and making money.
Yeah, hi Anisha. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for inviting me to your show. And as a SEBI-registered entity, standard disclosures apply. Whatever we say out here would be for educational purpose. And similarly, you need to consult your investment advisor to take an action on it and do your study on it. So yeah, interesting point. I think Anisha, like you mentioned, yes, the markets are scaling new heights. They are looking at the fact that the wall of worry, which used to be there in terms of inflation, in terms of interest rates, higher interest rates, and similarly, even on the political side, if there was a worry, if at all, has kind of subsided a lot. And 2023 seems to be much, much stronger, or has seen a much better year as compared to 2022. I mean, I think 2022 has a lot of challenges in terms of whether there is going to be recession globally, whether there is going to be a impact of very high inflation that is there, and similarly, where is it that the interest rates are going to peak out. I think we are starting on a very good note as far as 2024 is concerned. The inflation is well in control. The interest rates, at least we are talking about peaking out. And similarly, if at all we are talking about when is it that we are going to see the interest rates coming down or rate cuts being in place. So we are really starting on a very good note as far as 2024 is concerned. Even during 2023 compared to 2022, I think the current calendar year has at least given a double-digit return versus 2022, which was a kind of a low single-digit returns is concerned. So, I mean, coming to your point, yes, there are rather, if you look at the corporate results that were led on the consumption side, there is a clear trend. I mean, clear trend that consumption is literally taking a K-shaped kind of a recovery, where if it is a consumer staple, I think there is a good amount of down trading that is happening. And if it is a kind of a luxurious spends, we are seeing a good amount of uptick on that side. So how do we really play it, or that premiumization story or the K-shaped story is what is likely to come up. Also, I would really like to point out that 2023, while the real inflation started during 2022, but the pinch as far as the Indian consumers are concerned was only felt in maybe 23 as kind of inflation shot up, the interest rates EMI went up, and the rural spends also got impacted, maybe because of some bit of a monsoon being erratic per se. So we are starting on a very good note with incremental benefit of interest rates being lower. Even crude is coming down, which is further going to add. And similarly, the pockets of the consumer would be far better in 2024. So the K-shaped recovery, which is a combination of maybe a good amount of urban spending as well as rural top-end spending coming back. There are very less listed players, but nonetheless, there are quite a few premiumization stories in terms of premium cars, premium watches, or maybe as a combination of electrification as far as the auto sector is concerned, as a combination of technology and electrification. Sure. So one such stock that we have recommended in our clients' portfolio is car trade, which is a combination of autos or the electrification of the sector, as well as I mean the themes that we discussed of premiumization, as well as inflation coming down, thereby kind of picking up on that side. So interesting one. Yes, 2024 starting on a good note on at least the discretionary
Sure.
consumption side.
No, sure. There was a long-winded, context that you set for us. Thanks so much for that. But let's talk about the power sector specifically as well. We have seen a complete re-rating of sorts this year of public sector entities, whether it's
Oh, definitely.
financiers, utilities, or even industrials and ancillaries for that matter. Which are the stocks that you like from this space, which provide value for even here on?
Sure, Anisha. I mean, again, an interesting point. Given the fact that there is always a fear of heights with the markets, where whatever has kind of run up, most of the market participants would be like, "Oh, ye yahan se kitna chalega?" Or for that matter, how much more can it really move? Which is what we have seen in terms of PSUs, railway stocks, or maybe energy or power stocks. All these. Companies are really seeing a good amount of re-rating, and it's a combination of multiple factors, not just the fact that it is being called PSU. Of course, there was a lot of low hanging fruits in these companies as far as improvement is concerned, and on top of that, past maybe 5, 10, 15, 20 years, we had seen these companies really not reaping the complete benefit of the India story. And post COVID, possibly there is a reinvigorated kind of rigor in these companies, and which is what is playing out. So, how we are playing is through public sector banks. Even now, despite the run up, we see a good amount of valuation gap that exists. Of course, the asset quality cycle is in their favor. Similarly, credit growth continues to be quite strong. The use of technology that is happening at a hyper scale in our country is benefiting these guys. So the public sector banks had huge reach as far as the country is concerned, and which is what, with the digitalization, is further adding to that factor. So how we are playing this theme is through PSU banks, and which is
Okay.
where we find a good amount of value, still value. And I'm sure you would have seen the numbers of QIB subscription of Bank of India, where it is almost
Yeah.
8x. So a combination of growth, valuation, liquidity playing out in the favor of a
Sure.
particular sector.
Okay, yes, a lot of things coming right for the PSU names, and PSU banks is definitely something which is to be watched out for. Thanks so much, Mr. Poddar, for making time and speaking with us. But